Hello,
Sadžida,
everyone, also
welcome.
from my side. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here today and to have the opportunity to present some work that CENER has done in a recent year and also this year. Give me just a second to share my screen. So, just for the beginning, and one brief introduction for those who don't know about CENER 21. It's the abbreviation for the Center for Energy, Environment and Resources, which is a non-governmental and non-profit organization established in 2006 with the main mission to contribute to sustainable development to Southeast Europe. So, what our main areas of actions are biodiversity and ecosystems, climate change mitigation and adaptation, circular economy and resource efficiency, and energy efficiency and renewable energy. Within our work, we managed to establish collaboration with all main stakeholders to drive this environmental protection and develop some good practices and examples. So we through our projects, activities, and everything we are implementing, we managed to establish strategic partnership with international organizations such as UNEP, UNIDO, GIZ, European Union, and so on. We have close cooperation with government ministries, agencies, municipalities, where we support them to develop policy strategies and action plans. And currently, our team work also on the development of Federal Waste Management Plan, which is huge success for such a small organization. We also had the opportunity to engage with industry and businesses to promote resource efficiency, green production, and green innovation across the sector. One important part is also collaboration with academia and research institutions to support evidence-based policy making, technical studies, and capacity building. We also implement joint actions with NGO and civil society organizations, not just in Bosnia, but also through different kind of the cross-border cooperations and programs. And also we do our best to involve local communities in participatory projects to enhance environmental protection. So in terms of the stakeholder engagement, as I said, through our projects, we try to engage different kind of the stakeholders through different activities. So I will here briefly just introduce some of the activities and projects related to the circular economy that CENER 21 implemented. In terms of the support to the governmental institutions, last year we conducted training for 30 representatives from 14 institutions. As I said, Zero Waste Municipalities project, which was the huge one where we had the triple helix, where we collaborated with the local municipalities, local waste management utilities, and with high schools. Throughout this project, beside the zero waste action plans, we purchased equipment for separate waste collection for municipalities. We also, in purpose of the educational integration, developed a manual for high school teachers to incorporate circular economy and zero waste concepts in existing curricula, which I will talk a bit more later. Also supported Medwaves and GIZ in a collaborative project to tackle single-use plastic in Adriatic region, and we implemented pilot activities for Horeca sector in the city of Mostar. In terms of this tourism sector and Horeca businesses, we also published a comprehensive paper on circular economy principles and practices that can be integrated into tourism sector. And one of the highlights of the last year, our president, Sheila Mahmutovic, represented Bosnia and Herzegovina and JICA's solid waste management program in Japan in December last year. And she brought really great experiences and examples that we can see if there is possibility in some ways how to incorporate and replicate here. As I said, we did a lot in circular economy previously, but there is one point that I would like to focus today, and this is this educational part. So what we saw in terms of the circular economy, we definitely need a more education at all levels, but we have to start with the schools. That is the point that we have to start now in order to educate our future generations with all of these concepts that are currently new but will become a standard in the future. So for that purpose, we developed this manual on integration of waste management topics into existing curriculum, where we, because as you know, we cannot change the curriculum. It's already predefined by the ministries, and it's really complex process. But we could adjust existing curriculum, existing teaching units, just to adjust them a bit to include this circular economy and waste management. And one of the example was also in this language subject. We could make some slight changes in order to introduce the at least words and the usual terms that are used, so they become familiar with the wording at least. So that's where we started with the small point. So main objective of this manual was to assist teacher in daily teaching processes on topics related to environmental protection. But also, on the other hand, given that these are some new concepts, also teachers need some kind of the help and of the support and capacity building. So also through one of the GIZ supported projects, we worked on strengthening vocational education and training. First, we developed report on green cross-sector competencies, where we saw what is the demand in the labor market in terms of these green skills. And it appeared that employers mostly lacked the staff with the knowledge on the waste management practices. So for this purpose, we also organized practical workshop for teaching staff to ask them what challenges they are facing with, how they see this integration of the green skills in the vocational education, and what could be the next steps. And also for some practical learning, we managed through this project to also purchase recycling machines for two participating schools. So this is just an overview of some activities we done in schools, as we like to say, of circular economy in the classroom. And we have to say that we have a really positive experience from the young people, from the students. They are really eager to participate in these activities because it brings something new to this teaching process and learning process. So we will definitely continue to work on that. And as I said, schools and education, we found, are the key entry points for introducing circular thinking early on. So educating young generation is really essential, because they will become the future ambassadors of positive environmental and social change. So in order to achieve that, what we would like to do and what would be our next step, it is definitely to expand this training programs to reach more schools, more teachers across Bosnia and Herzegovina. And also what we would like to do is also strengthen school business partnership to provide this real world examples and opportunities for students' engagement. Circular economy is not just a waste management usually, and that's something that we focus on, but there is a lot of larger scales that it need to be implemented in order to be fully functional. But what we wanted to share today is also some examples of the support for SMEs that we provided through recent years and the project, and some good examples of the SMEs that already implemented some circular economy practices in their day-to-day operation. So I will just go briefly through some of them, because as I said, besides the education, also SMEs, in order to transform to circular economy, need different kind of the support from the education to the capacity building and extension financial support. So we had a project like Circular Accelerator for SMEs, applying green chemistry principles in industry, something I already mentioned, strengthening secondary vocational education and training. But as I said, we although somehow we are, as Western Balkans, we are usually perceived as someone who is lagging behind all European Union with all of these new practices, but it's always worth to mention that there are some slight but movements and good practice example that can be implemented. So maybe just it will be interesting for all of you. I will not take too much time. And I would like to present some good practice example in terms of the circular economy of the SMEs that we work with, and some of them implemented measures that were identified through different kind of the audits. We have a example of the manufacturing sector from wood industry, where new products were produced from the waste wood, and these include decorative items and souvenirs. These look pretty simple and very interesting. Also, what we like to say, as I said, some also digital solutions are very important in terms of the circular economy. And we have here example of the industry that implemented enterprise resource planning in terms of resource valorization, and they managed to reduce the scrap materials by 45.1%. So this is also a very important part of the circular economy. In terms of textile industry, I'm not sure how it's in other countries, but we all, I think, have a problem with the textile waste. So we have example of Agricombinat and Vetex industries that recycle this waste textile from the industry and from the households in order to produce industrial felt. In the construction sector, we have example of use of waste materials in clinker and energy production. One of the pioneers in Bosnia is cement industry, especially Lukava cement, and they also use RDF waste tires and industrial waste for the thermal and energy production. And one very important and very interesting example is in agricultural and food sector is this Pharma, which is a first biogas plant for electricity and heat production produced from the agricultural biomass, which is really big problem in terms of the waste here in Bosnia. And this is the first farm in Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina with such facilities. So as I mentioned earlier, what we are currently trying to do through our activities to move from some theoretical parts, but to connect education with the practical implementation and to enforce implementation of the circular economy practices from bottom to top, because sometimes these top to bottom approaches, while we are waiting this regulatory framework to be changed, we are also working on this capacity building of the governmental institutions, but we think it takes too much time, and we are trying, as I said, to use this bottom top approach to force them to change the regulations and to make it easier for SMEs to adopt to these new circular economy practices.